how are they going to portray Jesus? That's the big question in this thing. Now we're getting into this was just all the Old Testament. Now we're getting into the New Testament. So I guess what you're all waiting for is, how are they going to do it? What is Jesus going to look like? Is he going to be like the guy from all the portraits? Like he's going to be like white with like this brownish hair and a big hippie kind of thing and all that? Well, let's take a look and see. Holy shit, it's Thor. I'm not even kidding. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this. That's supposed to be Jesus? Really? It really looks more like Thor. Like if you took, it really kind of looks like Christian Hemsworth, doesn't it? Like if you took him, like if you stripped him naked and put him into these clothes, like it might as well be. I like the fact that they don't even make any real, like, effort in this. That this is really just as stereotypical as it goes. And this is supposed to be, like, this guy here, that's here, this is supposed to be the star of this testament. This is supposed to be the guy we're supposed to be rooting for. And he looks like friggin' Thor. Hello. But again, apart from him looking like Thor, looking like Christian Hemsworth, I kind of like his, and I kind of like the expression on Jesus' face in this. Like, if you've ever seen pictures of the Last Supper, other pictures of it, like, he's either looking at his disciples or he's looking at the at the table, like he's talking about, the wine and the bread and all that, and he's actually looking at it so that his disciples know what the hell he's actually talking about. But look at his expression here. It's sort of, I don't know, to me it looks completely stoned. Like again, he's not looking at his disciples, he's not looking at the table, he's not maybe looking at the bread or the wine, he's just looking like somewhere else. Like he's completely stoned off his mind. He's not actually paying attention to anything. I do sort of kind of like that in this depiction. And there's another depiction that, in this, another Jesus depiction when I didn't go over yet. And it's this one. I mean, I fucking love this picture. I don't know why, but it has great sort of comedic value in it. Like, the first thing that pops into my mind when I see this image of Christ is Disney. Like, it sort of looks like a snapshot from those moments, like in so many Disney films, especially like in the Disney Renaissance era films, where someone like Ariel or I don't know, Hercules, is that Disney Renaissance? No, I don't think so. But like Hercules, like when they sing their song and they get to the end, like the final lines, and it's the big, like the big bombastic, emotional climax of the song. That's sort of what that kind of looks like. It's like he just sang a musical number. Like it's like Jesus Christ Superstar. He's singing his last, like one of his big, perhaps his intro song to this, and this is like the emotional pinnacle of the song, and he's getting on this crevice, or what this is, and he's singing his heart out. That's exactly what this picture sort of, looks like, to me. I think there's great, comedic value in this. Speaking of value, ironically, even with the Jesus story, even, regarding what they make Jesus look like here, that they basically make him look like Christian Hemsworth, there are good parts in the Jesus story. Believe me, believe it or not, there are actually some good parts in this. Well, and the best part is here, this one, here. This is basically the part where Jesus talks about, or we get into the section with the likenesses, where he talks about all these stories. And the thing that I like, I don't know why, but I like the fact that they use an entirely different style of drawing, an entirely different illustration style than they use for pretty much every other thing. And the reason why I like it is because it's kind of ingenious in a way. Well, maybe not entirely ingenious, but it sort of reminds me of something like Kill Bill with the Lucy Liu anime thing, where it gets into her character's backstory. Or for example, Alice Madness Returns, where we get into some backstory in that game, and it's all done in these 2D animation as opposed to the 3D cutscenes. And I do kind of think that something like this with an entirely different, you can see, well, here you can see it's clearly an entirely different style of drawing. Like, I always thought something like this would work very, very well in like a Jesus animated film. I know this sounds crazy coming from someone who likes to bash the Jesus story, and like to bash, I mean, hell, I'm doing it now, trashing my children's Bible. But this would work really well in a Jesus animated movie, where you have certain parts of the story, or the majority of the story is in like animation style A, and then you get into the likenesses, and it's like this animation style, like this would be animation style B, this perhaps C, this maybe D, something like that, where you have several different animation styles for several different likenesses. That would be kind of cool. Someone should really kind of make that movie. Okay, now we're going to get into the crucifixion picture, the one I mentioned at the beginning. It's actually really huge in the actual book as compared to the cover. And yeah, here's the whole crucifixion scene in all of its gory, well, as gory as it gets for a kids movie, kids book, sorry. I mean, if you look at it, really, okay, can't see it, but if you look at it really closely, if you look at Jesus' hands, they actually do show some blood. The thing is, with this crucifixion scene, the reason why I show it, is because there's something that I wanted to get out, and I wanted to do it for quite a long time now. And I've actually thought about doing a vlog on this, but then I thought, well, since I'm trashing my childhood Bible anyway, and since I'm going to reference the crucifixion anyway, I might as well just talk about it. And it's the thing that, yes, it does sort of piss me off in many ways. It's the fact that when you hear, like in the States, all those right-wing Christians, how they keep on bashing on Hollywood, like how it's supposed to be like all evil and corrupt and satanic and all of that stuff, and how, like, for example, here in Germany, we have this record label called Agro Berlin, and it's basically the record label of artists like, perhaps you might have heard of him, Zito, the guy with the mask. Well, he used to have a mask back when he started making his music, and like another guy called Bushido. They're sort of like gangster rivals or whatever. At times it's kind of comical, but there have been actual real lawsuits about this, about some of the stuff they did. They actually really did sue each other at times. And and how their music is supposed to be so evil and like, well, not, maybe not evil, but violent and not for kids, and how it's like corrupting people and blah blah blah. But you know how right-wing Christians and hardcore Catholics say this sort of stuff. But then once you show them, you know, stuff like this whole thing, this whole crucifixion scene, and even more graphic scenes like this, or if you show them things from, let's say, I don't know, Caravaggio, something like that, like the picture, I think it's Judith and Holofernes, whatever, where you see this woman cutting this guy's throat and the blood just pours out. Like, you know, then it's okay. You know, it's okay when the Bible does it. And that's one of the things that does sort of piss me off. You know, you can't just go and say, Hollywood is evil, Agro-Berlin is corrupting our youth, there's so much sex, there's so much violence, and then turn around and just and say, but hey, you know what, when it's the Bible, it's okay. Like, you do have to have some sort of standards. Either both is okay, or none of it is okay. You can't just flip-flop. And that's, well, I guess. That's just my 2 cents, and I'm going off on a rampage again, like I always do. And the very last thing I want to mention is something that's really, really odd, even for this book. And it's, at the end, it's the very, 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 very last picture. It's the last thing in this book. And it's here, this. You can see this? Like, this is supposed to be the new Jerusalem. Really? Fucking really? This is supposed to be the new Jerusalem? Like, this is supposed to have more, like, this here, according to scripture, this thing is supposed to be like the ultimate city. It's supposed to be the grandest, the biggest, the most peaceful, the most whatever. And this drawing is supposed to represent something better than this. See, this versus this. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why would they put something like this, of this drawing quality, quote-unquote quality in this? And yeah, I know maybe I'm being unfair, maybe this is inspired by some real medieval drawing or something, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I've seen Christian propaganda movies, clips, flyers, whatever, you know, all those hell is real things that I've seen, white light, I've seen the heavenly Jerusalem, blah, 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 and they do a better job at trying to sell how great and how awesome and how brilliant this city is supposed to be. And here we just get this crummy ass, I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be, thing. And oh yeah, here, see this, yeah. The New Jerusalem is supposed to have a fucking Colosseum in it. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. If someone understands, if someone knows whether this is actually based on an actual drawing, please contact me, write in the comments. I just don't get it. Like how... now I'm just repeating myself. I don't know, this really bugs me. Like, this is the note I'm ending this on. Like, this is supposed to be something much grander than, I don't know, where was it? Excuse me. Gotta find it again. Here, like this. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Well, if you do know, whoops, what was it? Here. If you know if this is based on anything, like I said, contact me. But, really? Fucking really? Well, okay, so this was me ripping into my old childhood Bible. I know I didn't maybe make a good job at it. I really ad-libbed this. I have no script for this. So, if you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. Or none of it. Just maybe watch it. Or something. Yeah. So that's essentially this. The thing I've actually promised you. If you were disappointed, I'm sorry. That's all the best I could do with this, what I have here. And, okay, if you liked it, fine. If you didn't like it, okay. There's plenty of other stuff on my site, on my channel, that you might like. So this is me saying bye-bye.